Okay, I guess we'll start now. Okay, everyone, welcome to our webinar. Thanks very much for coming along. And this is our first one. We basically want to do these kind of webinars, hopefully once a month, inviting people from across the industry and just to get a chat, to kind of communicate ideas all across the country rather than just being focused on one area of the country. If we can share ideas from all over, I think it'll be entertaining and really educational, and just start creating a bit of community. So that's our idea of this webinar series, and to just get people that are key to the industry in all aspects of it. So today we're going to be focusing on local driving instructor associations, because it's really about creating that sense of community. And as a driving instructor, most of you guys will know that isolation is probably one of the biggest problems in this industry. And we believe at GoRoadie that getting into local driving instructor associations is a key to solving that problem. And we want to work with local associations as much as we can to drive instructors into local associations to get rid of that feeling of loneliness and to create communities. So we're there to help you find your local association. We're there if you don't know how to create a local association. We'll maybe give you guides and create a webinar based around that in the future as well. Let us know if you're interested in creating a local association, and I can maybe set up a call with some of these guys and ourselves to talk you through the process of doing that. So if you today we're here with Neil, Chris, and Derek, who are association leaders from Aberdeen, South East London, Kent, and Hinckley, and they'll be giving us their experience, talking about their association, what they do for their members, and at any point you've got any questions, drop them in the chat, and we'll try and pick them out and add them throughout the hour that we've got. So I guess enough of me and GoRoadie. I'll probably start with Chris. Give me a good question to start with, and basically I'll let you answer, Chris, since this is your question. How would you define an association?
Yeah, I think that's, for me, the question that I've spoken to most instructors about when talking about associations is because they're all different, and every time I end up in a room with association, committees or people who are trying to set one up, the wants and needs are really different. So I think locally, to me, in my original patch, my home patch, which is Sevenoaks, the instructors just want to go out for a curry. They like the contact. I think you said the two words that are really important was community, and then the isolation. So they like knowing people. If they've got a problem, they want to know someone to go to. But the majority of them are all sort of old hands. They know the job. They don't need that side of the support. They just want people there when it goes wrong. And then, when I look at the Sel Kent Association, South East London and Kent, that I'm now the chair of, I got involved in that because the lovely Don Harris dragged me along. I was just chatting to him on Facebook, and he said, this is the association locally to go to. And he travelled from Hastings, right on the south coast, up to South East London to come to the association meetings, and was key to those for a very long time. And Selkent's always been about, again, the community and the isolation, but there's been an appetite to develop skills and CPT based. So, I think they're all correct, they're all right. And then two other areas which I'll strong arm into the association conversation is our WhatsApp groups that we run. We've got WhatsApp groups based around each of the test centres locally, the instructor hubs, and those are acting as an association for the community that doesn't necessarily want to come along to a meeting. They don't want to do that, but again, they want answers, they want information, they want guidance, and we're offering that through those. And then finally, our most recent development is the Driving Instructor and Trainers Collective, the DITC, which is national and not going under the association box, because we're trying not to be. We want to be more of a communication hub, but actually that's part of what associations do is that. So I'm involved in 4 different types of association, if you like, and I think they're all valid. They all fit that local area, and they're things that we try to work with and deliver. And as anyone who's on a committee for one of these types of organisations, whether it be in the industry or outside the industry, they'll all appreciate you don't necessarily get the thanks for it. You don't necessarily do it because it's a burning passion to it. If you don't do it, it won't be there. So I think sometimes just being the person who goes, right, let's have something, really can unite your local area. And when it goes wrong, when my first son came along, I had instructors getting in touch who I didn't know, but they knew me, and they said, what can we do to help? And I love that about our industry. So they're my associations. I don't know what Derek and Neil's side of things, where how theirs embody themselves, but that's how ours have come about.
Derek, do you want to take that?
Yeah, we are similar to what Chris is saying. It's all about communication and building up a strong kind of association, because normally you don't hear from instructors until there's a problem at the test centre, a problem in test, so we can support them through the DVSA contacts as well. So our association started away back in 1971. So you count your maths out, March next month is our 50th year, which is quite a strong thing to have for 50 years, which was started away back in 1971 by 3 or 4 instructors who were all sole trader instructors. They weren't part of a franchise. And to this day, the association is still only for fully qualified ABIs that are sole trader independents. It's been asked over the years to change that to all instructors, but every AGM we have, the members want to keep it, certainly at the moment, for sole trader independents only. Because the franchise instructors get support from their head office, but they should do anyway. So we feel to keep it kind of that. We've built it up to 90 members. It's quite a strong association. I think the strengths is we've got a very strong committee, from a chairman, vice chairman, treasurer, secretary, and some committee, make up a 9 strong committee people in the association. And I think the benefits being there is that the members get lots of communication. That's the biggest thing. As long as everybody knows what's happening. Yeah, so one of my jobs is certainly this last 12 months, because no contact meetings, is to get that communication out by email as quick as we can. We've got lots of emails from the MSA, we've got lots of emails from the EDI, NGC, and get them fired out to the instructors so they're up to date with all the latest information. And that's all we can do as an association, and support them if there's any problems. We can guide 1 or 2 along that's got some financial problems this last 12 months, etc. So it's somewhere they can come to and ask for help. Michael, is the big benefit of the ADDSA.
Good.
And so far so good.
Yeah, to answer that as well, we're very much the same. I'm echoing what the guys are saying. We're there for the community. As driving instruction industry, we help and support the members in our group. We've also got WhatsApp groups, which is again encouraging members to come into the association.
Good. So I guess I'll fire on to the next question with you, Neil. Then, when did you know that your association was making a difference? How did you know? What kind of action? When did you sit down? Yeah, we're making a big change here, or we're impacting that person. Have you got any stories like that?
Okay, so we knew that we were making a bit of a difference in our first year, because we actually went and won the DIA Driving Association of the Year in our first year. So we knew that we were on the right sort of lines. And I believe, sorry, Chris, I believe that we've built on that since as well. And I think all the members that agree that it is going from strength to strength.
Good. Derek?
Well, we've grown the membership quite a lot over the last few years. Now, that's maybe because some franchise instructors they decided to go solo, and they became the association. And the next thing is, for me as a secretary, is quite often you get texts or phone calls or emails from the members, thanking me for all the hard work that the committee do. And I think that goes a long way to. So I wouldn't do it if I didn't enjoy it. That's one thing. But I just feel the more you help other people, and we're quite lucky now with technology, with the Zoom and the emails over the years. That has certainly helped. So I remember when I first started 16 years ago, I used to get a phone call from the ex-secretary. Oh, Derek, there's a meeting next week. It was all done by phone calls or letters together. Nowadays we can just ping out emails or WhatsApp or text. So it's all about communication, as I said before. And I think the members appreciate it's a lot of the new members who were maybe just started. They can't believe the information they get for quite a small fee every year, so I think they appreciate all the information getting sent out, Michael.
Yeah, I agreed. Actually, quick question. Do you do hot meals when you met face to face? Do you do hot meals with your association meetings?
Yes.
I spoke to someone in Edinburgh, the association leader in Edinburgh, Jamie Sheriff, the other day, and he was telling me he stole that from your association, making sure everyone gets a hot meal with every meeting.
It's not what happens, Michael, is the 4 meetings a year. 3 of them we provide soup and sandwiches just about 5:30 before the meeting starts at 6. The November one, because it's kind of Christmas time, etc., we have a 3-course meal prior to the meeting, which is all paid out of the funds as well. So they get their money back quite easily.
So Chris, what story do you have that, like, when you kind of it hit you that you are making a difference?
We don't do hot meals, so we did win. My internet's dropped. Sorry. That's better. We did win one of the DIA awards. So I've just dropped that in there. But I think it's lovely to get recognition, but with the greatest respect to the people who give out the awards, it's got to be the members that are the key focus. And if we're getting it right for them, then it's worthwhile. And recognition is lovely, but we don't do it for that. And the stories that have made it worthwhile for me are not when we're necessarily stood in front of a room full of people, because you get the DVSA along and that happens. They're there for their reasons. It's the tug on the sleeve at the end of a meeting, when there's someone who they've come along lots, but you don't really know who they are. Or they haven't come along, but you've seen them around and you recommended they come a few times and they finally turned up. And they kind of, they've got a door handle question. They've got that, very end of the meeting going, I've got a problem and I don't know who to ask, because while we're dutifully regulated, we're not necessarily supported. And I think when you've got a problem, something I said to one of our members yesterday was that the DVSA forget, and people forget, that we are the first line of support to not just the learner drivers and the other clients out there, but also to other instructors. They ask us first. They ask the DVSA second. And I think that's really important. So, the stories that stick with me and make me realize when it's working, there's been a lot recently because, COVID and all that, is when people have had answers and they've been able to sleep at night. They've been able to have that moment of going, do you know what? Even though it's really, really not good, I'm avoiding swearing, but it's not been great. We know that we will hear because we're part of a community, we're part of a structure. We know that when that information comes through, it will end up in our inbox. It will end up on WhatsApp, and also we can say, sorry, missed it. So we can, you know, when it's important to us, because it might not be important to us today, but it is important to us tomorrow. When it gets to tomorrow, we can go, oh yeah, there was a thing on here the other day. Who was it? What was it? Who can help? And I don't have to be there for that, because I know that the other guys involved will step in and answer the question, because we've made sure that the information is there and is accessible to people. So I think, you know, for me, that's when success works. It's when someone doesn't have a problem, and when a solution is just easily available because you can just give it to them. It doesn't have to be work-based either, does it? It's, you know, we've got so many hats that we wear, you know, which is, we've mentioned, you know, pre-kickoff. It shows how many hats we wear and that you don't wear as many, Michael. But the wear and tear of changing hats between the accountant to the marketeer to the teacher to the counsellor, all of those different factors, you can't be an expert in all of them. So sometimes it's just, I need my car reliveried. Who do I go to? Yep. You know, who can do that job for us, and you know, and answer that question. So you know, doing those things for me, that's how you know when it's working.
I guess like during the obviously the last year, I've spoken to a bunch of associations, and they were saying that counselling is almost something that's coming up more often. It's like just that, have someone to talk to, just that phone call. Are you guys seeing that at all? Are people reaching out just to chat?
If I can jump in, because I'd like to then pass to Neil, because I know, you know, Neil's he's our safeguarding expert, because he's the one that I'm asking the questions of, but delivers safeguarding training. So I think for me, it's something that I've got a background in. I qualified in clinical hypnotherapy. Counselling was a lot of that as a, you know, how to deal with things. So when instructors say, you know, we need to remember we're not therapists, I kind of go, I've got a bit of paper. It doesn't mean a lot, but it does. I've drawn a lot from it, and I think we really need to know, you know, how to listen and how to help. It's part of the job, but also when to draw the line, yep, and say this is when there's more help available. And I think that's where safeguarding is becoming really important. So that I bow to Neil's expertise on that.
Yeah, it is going to become more important. We've got to start thinking about protecting ourselves, because we are quite vulnerable every day with younger people. I'll say younger people because there could be vulnerable adults as well. But it's knowing how to deal with that, and there's always somebody there that's got an answer, or there's always going to be, like me, a safeguarding instructor that can step in and help them or guide them into the right direction. But obviously you can't jump straight into that, because it can be quite dangerous, but it's knowing what to do. So it's having that support within your association that, like Chris said, and Derek, that you can come and talk to somebody, because somebody will have an answer, and somebody can provide the support that you need to push on again.
Yeah. And Derek, are you seeing that as well?
Yes, thankfully we've been quite lucky. But there's been one or two, obviously, in the financial situation that were quite newly self-employed instructors who are in that kind of 5% bracket. And from a financial point of view, we've had to give them a lot of guidelines and links. Look, keep applying for that universal credit, keep applying for that link for different kind of grants. And obviously the one people are waiting for at the moment is this new one that's coming out to the local councillors. They've got to decide if instructors get like a taxi drivers. Yeah, there's an equivalent kind of scheme there. So the financial point of view has been quite tough, like what you expect this last 12 months. So we're trying to support them all through this, and touch wood, they're all getting by so far.
Good. So outside of AGMs, I'll start with you, Derek. How often do you meet outside of AGMs? How often do you meet? And now, is it through Zoom, and how was it before Zoom as well?
Yeah, well, our constitution states that we'll have 4 meetings per year, every 3 months. So February is our AGM, which we had last February at the club. Every meeting since then has been on Zoom. Yeah, so it's February, then May, and then August, and then November.
That's right.
So that's at the local cricket club, which is a nice function room, plenty of car parking space. And as I said earlier, we provide the soup and sandwiches and the 3-course meal in November. The meetings last for a couple of hours. In between, certainly since last year, we've had more kind of Zoom meetings.
Right.
Just for general chat, not an agenda meeting, not like your proper ones we have every 3 months. We had it in November, we had one this last week, just to try and get that members onto Zoom to speak to different people.
Yeah.
Just to break up their day-to-day boredom. You know, so have about 20 or 30 come on. Just for a chat, speak about anything they want. It normally ends up work related, as you can imagine, or a bit of football, a bit of this, but normally it's work related. But just getting people to speak and meet people and make sure they're healthy. That's part of the membership. We can make sure they're all safe and sound.
Yeah.
At our meetings, we try and invite different people. We try and mix it up a little bit and not just. So we had the DVSA people come into some of our meetings, the area manager, for example, or the local test centre manager. We've had the police did some talks about accidents, how they assess an accident. It was very, very helpful, very scary. And we have like one of our vice chairman, Mark, he'll do a lot of like different topics part of our CPD. So we'll get the big board out and speak about roundabouts or junctions and get the members involved. There's nothing worth sitting there at a meeting, just sitting and listening to people. They want to get kind of group discussions and try and do something different every 3 months.
Good.
So obviously since AGM last year, everything's been in Zoom, and that will continue, I think, until November this year, until we get back into the local club.
Okay.
That's what we do. Yeah. Okay.
Neil?
Yeah, in times of normality, we would meet first Thursday of every month.
Right.
During this last few lockdowns, we started off in the first lockdown every week just to reassure our community and just be there, and so that everybody could just have a chat and like Derek said, just interact with people, break up your day sort of thing. What we've done further to that is we've moved it to fortnightly while we've been in and out of lockdown, and while we're staying in lockdown now. And we brought in speakers to our Zoom meetings. We've just had general chats. Me and the chair lady have been working really hard listening to all the ADI and JC webinars to feedback all the information. So we've always got something to share with the community in there. Yep. Other than that, we work together and do charity work. We have social events, and yeah, it's full on, to be quite honest.
Sounds it, yeah.
Yeah, but it's really good because it keeps everybody in touch with what's going on and what's around them and what they can do.
Good. What about you, Chris? How do you guys meet and all
that? We do every other month, third Monday of every other month, and no one can ever remember when the meetings are. It's one of the things I've struggled to solve. However, with the GoRoadie Association hub, that is, it's really helped. I'm not going to blow smoke because, I'm not here to be nice to you, but I tell you what, having the members on there, it's been great because of the COVID situation. We've said free membership to anyone who wants to keep in touch at the moment. Just we don't want people isolated. It's difficult times, but so we've got everybody on there. Information comes through, it gets sent straight out to them via there. It's great. We can put posts up and make use of it, and we'll probably make more and better use of it moving forwards, because once we've got meetings and things, it's all been a bit ad hoc. But we've got WhatsApp, and that being live and in the moment, we use that. In the real world, if we can remember what it was like, what we tapped into recently has been the skill set in the room. One of the things I love about the industry, you never know who you're talking to at a test centre. They could have been a doctor, they could have been a lawyer. We've got plenty of police expertise and wide ranging. Andy Hill, one of our guys, was mounted police, so he's spoken about that, and he's spoken about his police cars over the years as well, which was fascinating. And I'm not a motorhead at all, but it was really interesting to listen to. The British Horse Foundation as well, with connections to there. So the wealth of information in instructors is huge, and it's something I learned from having got burnt in my early days. That a subject would come along and so you'd be talking to someone, and you can never assume they don't know, because they'll suddenly go, "Well, yes, when I was the supporting act for Queen." And yeah, it's fascinating, and I love that. So I think delving into the wealth of information in the room, the diversification that's available, looking at different subjects, from special needs through to different categories, through to different ways of running your business, marketing, advertising. You don't often need to look too far afield. There's normally someone there who knows about it. I think it's just the danger of, it's nice to bring in a bit of new blood, and especially if the crowd takes offence, they haven't got to come back next time. So you can be slightly more controversial when you're visiting. So yeah, but I think that's the way that we tend to work. And it would, if we could get anything to improve the association, I think regularity of people coming along. We want to grow. We want people to come every time. Our biggest issue is our area. We cover, say South East London and Kent is a huge area, and actually inside of Kent there's at least 3-4 other associations that are more specific to the area. So we're in name, we're punching above our weight probably. It tends to be the South East London the South East London massive that tends to come and attend the meetings, but others drop in when DVSA are in town or something like that.
Okay. Just a reminder, anyone who's watching, you can always add your own questions, if you've got your own points as well, add them to the chat. So if you've got your own opinions, we can read them out or talk about them as well. So that'd be awesome. So next question then, I guess I've got is, what's the most requested event or action by one of your members?
They want me to stop talking. That's not what you meant, was it? Sorry.
No. But yeah, Chris, do you want to go with that one and start? What is like asked most, or even like what kind of comes up most in your meetups? Like what's coming up?
It's frustratingly, I think it ends up being local issues, and because we aren't test centre based, so we haven't got 1 or 2 test centres between us. It's a big area.
Yep.
That can be a real challenge, because actually talking about a specific roundabout might be interesting to the people who know the specific roundabout, but the rest aren't. The most requested stuff is when there's a change to the DVSA way of working or system in some way, people want to know because it directly affects them. Yeah. So I think that's got to be the go-to thing. If there's a change, it's keeping up to speed on those changes.
Neil, what were you? What comes up in Hinckley?
Yeah, they're very much the same. I mean, obviously we provide events for our members, so we're probably one step ahead of them all the time, hopefully, if that's how they see it. And then the other action is we've got what we call a road liaison officer, Cheryl, and she does a fantastic job reporting all things like pothole signs and anything that's out of place, shall we say, around the areas that we work in. So she does a really good job, and she needs to congratulate him for that as well, because she does get bombarded as well. So yeah, that's the biggest action that we really get requested for. So
cool. Derek?
Yeah, just similar to what Neil and Chris were saying. Outside the kind of meetings, we like to have some social events, except last year, obviously. So we try and meet. It's very difficult. It's getting people to attend. What Chris was saying, it's the same kind of core people that come to all the meetings. And some members we've got are travelling like 40 miles And they're there every meeting without a shadow of a doubt. Yet some of your local ones who stay 5 minutes away from the club don't appear for various reasons, which is fair enough. So apart from trying, obviously if something new comes out, we get a lot more people, as Chris was saying, like the independent driving came out, the sat nav, all the kind of new things lately, the DVSA, and we try and get somebody from the DVSA to come to the meetings. And normally you get like 50, 60 people coming because it affects them directly, their day-to-day business. It's something new for them, the change of manoeuvres, etc., the parking, the right, etc. We had the DVSA up explaining why that's come into test. We've done first aid courses as well. You know, a lot of demand from some of the members to do a little bit of refreshing and first aid. And as I say, we're certainly trying to get our meal out with the meetings and go for tent and bowling and try and make it a bit more socialising, but it's try to get people to just attend. You know, the 90 members, as I said, it can vary between 12 and 20, you know, at the most. But hey ho. We can only provide, we can only lay it on and organise it. It's up to them to turn up.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah.
And then you do turn up, really enjoy it, you know.
Yeah.
You know, we all need to socialise.
Okay.
Just to add on to that, if you don't mind as well.
Oh, yeah, please.
This is a bit off the scale, but recently round by us, an instructor that wasn't a part of our association died through COVID. And there must have been 15, 20 instructors from our association come out and done like a convoy behind the cortege for him, which was really, really impressive. So we support everybody in the community in that way.
When things go wrong, driving instructors really step up, don't they?
They do.
It's when you see it. When something happens to the community, I think, yeah, I've seen that so many times. So myself, when the kids came along and people helped, I had a knee operation and people helped. But it's something I've always been really proud about the community that we're in.
I actually have a question from Stuart Mead in Watford. He runs the GoRoadie Association. He's asking about, I think it was Chris, they talked about the kind of skill set that you've got in your association, because obviously instructors, it's often a second career. It's just like, have you ever considered, like, have you guys, all of you considered doing kind of a skill sharing session or like highlighting what is your background, so members can ask one another some questions around that?
I think we definitely do it inside of the association, and I know Stuart was sort of suggesting that wider reaching, sharing skill sets across different groups and such is possibly an option too. That's something that we've identified as for the DITC moving forwards, is to have, because one of the issues that we find as Selkent, and I know other associations find, is being found. We've just had test centre waiting room walls have been taken away. Well, that was the go-to. If it wasn't on the wall, it wasn't happening. And although we've got digital solutions, we've got the emails going out and we've got WhatsApp, finding the disconnected instructors, finding the pre-PDIs. I was really interested to hear that Derek is qualified instructors only at his association, because of getting that new blood coming in. I think that's something that we've identified as being an area. We actually, PDIs are free, they don't pay, and then when they qualify, we hit them hard. No, we make sure that they roll one trouser leg up and join, but they get the benefits of the training, so that we're improving our industry. So something that we would like to do as a central meeting point is having the information available of listing associations, and then also listing people that will speak at associations, having a speakers list. So that we can then, everyone can benefit from that. So I've already said that Neil's top of my list for safeguarding information. I think knowing that that's a go-to person for that having go-to people is really useful. The ones that will stand on the box and perform when you ask them to, as I've been referred to myself. I think that's a really useful thing. So that's something we're putting together with a bit of a, these are people you can speak to, contacts in the industry, which I think would possibly be something of interest to all associations.
I think so, yeah. I guess I'll put the question to you guys first, and I'll make a point on that, I guess. Neil, or?
I think it's very much the same as what Chris was saying, really. It's, inside our association, we know what skill sets are there, or people come with different skill sets. Getting associations to be seen is, I think, a big problem, but I think that's going to start to be solved now with GoRoadie, hopefully. So yeah, that's how I see it, and same as Chris, really.
What about you, Derek?
Yeah, it's amazing what backgrounds instructors had in their slightly younger days. We've got accountants in our association, we've got ex-police, so their knowledge is huge.
Yep.
Where I remember a few years ago we were organising an accountant who come to a meeting to speak about different things. And a member says, I was 30 years an accountant, I could have answered that to you. So it just shows you what their backgrounds is.
Yeah.
And maybe we didn't know at that particular time. So it is important that we know that background as well, because information is huge.
Yeah.
And the knowledge, as mechanics is now members of our driving schools. So there's huge knowledge that's in your membership without realising it.
I never really, I guess it took me kind of Chris and Stuart to kind of highlight again. It's like there is a lot of people that they've got so much experience, and it's maybe something I know that you guys use the hub, the association hub that we've been trialing, but it might be something that we can capture there and then. So you've got that on your database and be like, this. He was previously I was an accountant, previously I was a mechanic, or I previously worked in the police, and you've got that in your database, and they can each other see that information. So that might be something we can do, which we could maybe be useful. So thanks for
definitely.
So obviously right now is really challenging. It's like horrible what's happening. But what are the biggest kind of values you guys have given right now? Is it the Zoom sessions? Is it just checking in? Is that where you see the biggest value for associations right now until the pandemic's over?
Yeah, at the present moment, it's just having that availability to just come on and have a chat with somebody or just socialise. Because some of the ADIs probably, separated from their partners for the day or whatever.
Yep.
And they've just got somewhere to come and have a chat with like-minded people, really, and just get things off their back.
Perfect. Yep. Yeah, the same, Michael. Yeah, it's just keeping that communication and just keeping it going. As Neil was saying, that's why we try and organise these in-between kind of chats. Instead of waiting 3 months to find out a problem, but just try and keep it updated and keep in contact with the members as much as we can. So I think they appreciate the backing and the help.
And Chris, do you echo that, or have you got much?
Yeah, I think I think for us it's being there. When someone needs you, and I think at the moment everyone's got real personal struggles going on, whether they be financial or home learning. I'm not even starting the conversation, or whatever else might be happening. You don't want them to have to ask twice because they might not be able to. I've always been quite open about my history of various different things, and I remember once asking for some emotional support. You can say that nowadays without people laughing at you. It's great. And asking for that support and being handed a phone number and told, give them a call. That's you don't have the energy to ask another person, because it's especially guys. Blokes tend to end up struggling with that. So you want them to know that they can ask you, and even if you can't help them, you'll know the person who can, and you can make it really easy for them. So having that list I think the ADI and JC have got a list of phone numbers on their site that people can phone for a chat if they need to. It was kind of put in place properly after the COVID struck. They use that as a really good tool, and we try to do the same. And I know there's an ADI Deb Barker who's looking at first aid, mental health first aiders, and trying to get those on the wall of the test centre, and so that people have got someone to talk to. And I think that's what we act as, is there is an emergency button if you need to if you need to push it, that they will not ignore you, they will listen, they will answer it if they can, and that works. And for me, that through COVID, everyone's got my phone number. They know how to get in touch, and we can help that way.
Could you pass me on? Thanks for that, Chris. I was just thinking about you mentioned about ADI first aiders. Like, you should pass my details on to, is it Debs? Did you say?
Yeah.
Maybe we can do something on GoRoadie to promote that. Like, we have hundreds of instructors. If we can promote that service out there, then that's us helping out. So why not? That'd be good. So ideas. So for the future, what's 2021, 2022, 2023 looking like? It's you've got your associations right now. Where do you want to take them? What do you want to do in the future that you're not doing right now? Like, Neil, do you want to start with that? It's a big vision. Where are you going to tell me?
I'm not quite sure where we're going with it at the moment. We just want to provide that support for the members going forward, even into what is going to be the new normal, hopefully.
Yep.
And see what everybody else wants from it. Probably engage with more associations and share different things with associations is probably the goal to move forward.
That sounds great. Yeah, I think we want to, if we can help that, support that, we'd love to do that, 100%. Yeah. What about you, Derek? Have you got any plans for the next few years? Or
well, I'd just like to see, first of all, I'd like to see all the members getting back to work.
Yep.
I don't want to lose anybody because they've gave up being a driving instructor. I just hope everybody can survive this, whether it's going to be March or April, get back to work. I just hope to see every instructor, whether it's a member or non-member, back on that road, doing the job they love. From an association point of view, I'd love to see the membership hit the 100 by the end of this year.
Cool.
Yeah, it's only 10 to go. So, but anyway, we'll see.
I'll try and help you out there somehow. We'll get on a call and see if I can advertise it to the other Aberdeen guys.
Yeah.
He's not a member yet. Get him to put his hand in his pocket and join. There we go. And Michael, there's free meals available. It's great.
Of course.
It's like an 80-mile journey, so
That's in Scotland. That's nothing.
And also, we'll find out next month. We're obviously in the shortlist for the Intelligent Instructor Awards. Yeah. So that would be a fantastic achievement for the Aberdeen Association. Even fantastic now being the shortlist, but to get any closer would be a good boost as well for us.
Yeah, same, Derek. I feel the same way about that. So let's all support each other and vote for each other to make sure we win these awards.
Exactly. How much you paying, Michael?
Chris, what's your plans? I know you've got your hands in many pies. So where are you taking Selkirk? Where are you taking Seven Oaks, and where are you taking DITC?
Seven Oaks, we're desperately in need of a restaurant that we can go and sit in and have a curry, and that's pretty much where that one ends. I'm happy with that. It's quite obvious that I'm the one that says let's all go for a meal because I like food, and everyone supports it. It's fine. So that was easy. We just got to get there. With Selkent, I think we just want to regroup. We want to regroup and figure out how we can help people moving forward and see what their new stuff's going to be, their new needs, because I don't think we know yet. I'm a good example, I suppose, of how things have changed or could change, because I'm not planning to be back on the road, and I'm focusing on theory and delivering lessons via Zoom. And there's a real demand for that, a real want for that. So I want to see where that takes me. And I think if there's others that are making the same changes, have looked at the financial, the heavy cost of running a car and being an instructor, and are trying to change the way they work, I'd like to support that. So I think we're going to look at sectors that are different to what we've done before. I'm a huge supporter of what the DVSA staff do. I think their staff are great. I think the DVSA itself is the toenail of a dinosaur, and unfortunately can't act as quickly as the staff want it to. And I genuinely think the guys that work for the DVSA are trying to do their best in sort of a difficult situation. So I look forward to seeing what happens on that side of things, and we will therefore make the best of it, with whatever we can do. And then DITC is such early days. Moving that forwards is going to be taking a lot of work, but hopefully will support all associations, will support all instructors in finding people to help. So we'll be pointing people towards Derek and Neil and saying, these are the people to speak to in your area, because I wish I had that when I started out. I was lucky. Just to name check the wonderful Lynn Webb, who a lot of instructors will know, because she like me gets about a bit, and we met on Twitter, and she showed me the right path. There's a lot of instructors that aren't as lucky, and they have to figure it out on their own, often misled. So so some good foundation blocks will make me very happy.
Okay, thanks very much, Chris. I mean, I'm very excited where you're going to take the DITC, and so I think overall 2021 is going to be a much better year. And I think instructors, I know it's a bit rough right now, but I think come April, come May, you're going to be busier than you've ever been. You're going to have so much business. It's just going to be a really good time to be a driving instructor come the summer. It's going to be fantastic. You're going to... And
we'll all be moaning about it.
Yeah.
Because we can't fit everybody in, because we haven't got room in our diaries. We can't put the prices up yet again, because we've already done it 3 times and someone's going to complain. And we will all be very unhappy at the state of affairs. So, yes, I agree. Long may that last. I'm not complaining yet, but we will be. Can I just turn the tables on you for a second, because there's a question come in, and it's one that I need to ask you, Michael. So someone said, what are the GoRoadie plans?
That is a good point. The GoRoadie plans are to continue supporting driving instructors. That's what we've done since day one. Is we built this platform for driving instructors with the aid of driving instructors. That's where the idea came from. For those who don't know, which might be a few of you, we started GoRoadie when our friend was a driving instructor and he wanted more business, and we were like, me and Barry, who's in the call here, we thought we can build a website that helps get more business. And then we thought, can we do something that helps more than just one driving instructor? And that's where GoRoadie came from. And that's what's kind of different about, I feel what's different about us from like My Drive, which was in the past, is a business that's focused on helping driving instructors and on their needs. We never force pupils on instructors. It's always on their terms. If they want a pupil, we'll get them a pupil. And if they don't, we won't force pupils on them. And everything is on their terms, like the hour-only rate. It's your rate. We will never dictate lesson prices. The only time we'll dictate lesson prices is when we suggest, hey, maybe you could be charging more per hour, and to make sure that they have a better quality of life. And that's what we're all about. And so expanding as much as we can. And really, it's tough for us at the moment. like it's COVID has hit us hard, but like we're trying new things and we're trying to adapt our business, and that's what you're going to see from us is how do we adapt our business to, and but always focusing on supporting driving instructors in the most fair way, and that's what we're about anyway.
I've got one question for the people that are watching this, the attendees. What do they want from our associations moving forward? What do they want to see?
Great question, Neil. Yeah, let's see if anyone answers that. Let's see.
I think what they do, that it just says go driving on there, has made a comment that they get from a lot of their ADIs, which is the comment they get is, what do we need a local association for? We can get all of our information online.
Great. That's a good point.
And I think my response to that is that yes, you can, but you've got to interpret that. So it takes a lot of effort and prior knowledge to do that. Having someone to bounce it off of, someone to complain to when you don't like it, or to agree with, when you feel something needs to be done. That, it comes back to the two words we started with at the beginning of community and isolation. And for me, that's what the association's for. It goes for the national associations as well. I don't know about the other guys, but I've lost count of the number of instructors that have come to me after a problem, be it standards check issue, people being taken off the register for various reasons, not necessarily the fit and proper stuff, but they've made an error of some kind. One guy who hadn't changed his address with the DVSA. Changing it on your driving license is not enough. They don't know. I can't say that enough to people, because the number of people that don't realise. Change it with the DVLA for your driving license and then change it on the register. Really important. They missed their letters. They were being struck off. They came to me because they needed something at that point. And, that you need to go to an association before you need something and see what it can give you. Exactly.
And I think it was like the human element as well. Like, number one problem we keep hearing about instructors is, and we've spoken to thousands of instructors, and it's isolation, the loneliness of the job. And it's like, you can get all the information you want online, but that sense of community you won't be able to get, I think, anyway. Derek or Neil, do you guys have anything else to add to that question? I think you're on mute, Derek. I don't, unless that's my computer. I'm not sure.
I'll just echo everything that Chris says, because you can never have enough information. You can never look to other people and share experiences and knowledge as well.
Yeah.
While you're trying to solve Derek's issue, someone said hot soup is what they would like. Isn't this representative of driving instructors? We're simple beings. We do want. This is where my COVID journey began. Was on the day that a story that people are getting bored of me walking back from Tesco's and suddenly realising, oh sugar, this is going to hit hard. Looking at my car and looking at my house and then recording a video. That what was missing at that moment in time for instructors was somebody saying, do you know what, it's going to be all right. We'll let you know, because the DVSA didn't. At that point, national associations hadn't, because I think they were waiting for information, and it just needed, in my opinion, it needed someone to just say, I'm feeling it as well, but watch this space, we'll be all right. And it comes down to the hierarchy of needs. We need a roof over our head, we need food in our bellies, and we need people around us to make us feel secure. Yep. And if we can give people that, or part of that, then brilliant. So I think hot soup is something I might start bringing that into Selkent, see if we can provide a bit of food instead of our usual tea and biscuits.
Derek, I don't know if your audio is working yet. If you've got anything to add to that. No, it's not working. I'm sorry. No, we can't hear you. Well, yeah, is there anything else then, or are we?
There's a couple of things in the questions.
Yep. So what experience do you have of the ADI directory on GoRoadie in terms of generating new business? I don't know if that's aimed towards me, but I guess I'm probably the right person to answer that. So yeah, so for GoRoadie, you can list your business on there for free, always for free, and it will always be for free. And your first people is free too. So and the way it works is you get a request from a pupil and you can decide to accept or decline. It's up to you if you want to take that pupil. We'll give you all the information you want. And we've helped thousands, tens of thousands of pupils find their driving instructor and match with their driving instructor. So yeah, we've helped tons of driving instructors who are franchised become independent, and they cite us as a reason that they feel confident of being able to do that. And that makes me feel great because I feel I'm actually making a difference in people's lives, which is a good feeling, no doubt. And so yeah, that's the experience we've got. We've helped thousands of pupils, and we've helped tons of instructors get business on their own terms and when they need it, and to run the business that they want. They don't have to worry about Facebook, websites, Google ads, Yelp ads. It's all taken care of by us. And it kind of lets them just focus on the day job. And I think that's important anyway. But then again, I'm probably biased. Yeah. So is there anything else there? We're going to have this recorded. It is recorded. So Roop C, I'll send you out the recording or the link of the video so you can watch it again.
The person who wrote that question wanted us to throw in an answer.
Sorry, I just did a huge sales pitch on GoRoadie. No, you guys, if any of you guys have an experience, I'm not sure if any of you guys have an experience, but please talk about it.
All I would like to say is that inside of an industry that is notoriously mixed in people that you can trust and not trust, and we all see that, and we've all seen the wrong end of it as well. Not just GoRoadie, but Michael and Barry individually are names that I will happily throw out there as people you should speak to. So, I think it's transparent and it says what it does. If it's right for you, if it improves your visibility, and if it gets you pupils, then brilliant. See if it works. And if it doesn't, there is going to be no harm coming from it. So I think that's an important thing to say. So, yeah. I hope that answers the question. Yeah, I think we all end up being passionate about what we do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, I think that's what you want to see, isn't it? So I think people who care about the industry, companies that care about the industry, especially in a time when we can't have the conferences and things where people can go and set up pitch. Whether they work or not, and how many people attend, people can't show their dedication to the industry. And there's certain companies I know that along the way that I like because they support instructors.
Yep.
So and he's not paying me to say it. I'm normally really nasty about the guy, to be honest, but.
And Neil, I don't know if you've got anything. I know Derek's having audio problems, which is
no. Gary Shaw's raised his hand. Is there a question down there, or
is there? Oh yeah. Thank you for. It was avoid. Sorry, anonymous. Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything else we want to then address, or will we call it there?
No, I think it's good that we know we all work together in this industry, and the general public think that we're all against each other as businesses. But when we work together like this, there's so much we can achieve, and through the associations, we're just going to achieve more, I believe.
I think so. I think that's why I kind of wanted to do this webinar. It's like we highlight that associations are the backbone of this industry, and that if by you guys pulling together, by us highlighting you guys, then I think instructors are going to be better off, and better off for that. Okay, yeah, I guess we can. I think is there any other questions, or do we want to call it there? call it there, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for coming out. And hopefully, if anyone's interested in taking part in a future one of these, please get in contact with me. And and hopefully we'll have another one this in early March. All right. Well, thanks everyone. And guys, thank you very much for being a part of this. Neil, Derek, I'm sorry audio cut out towards the end. And Chris, of course. And yeah, we'll speak. No doubt I speak to you guys quite often anyway. So I'll see you guys soon. All right.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.